is that's my whole thing on that. Um, yeah, I guess anything else within this Colorado Oilers series that you have any thoughts on? Um,
I guess I know Edmonton's not finished yet, and they are winning here. But if they don't get the miracle comeback to work for them here, I would say to Oilers fans, I think that they should be pretty encouraged by the direction the team is heading. It doesn't mean that they should just bring the same thing back next year. I mean, there are things they need to address, particularly around goaltending. But I think that they, compared to maybe some other fans, sorry Toronto, but some other places, I think you can look at how it's gone this year and this playoff run, and seeing the progression of certain guys, and McDavid in particular, with how he's expanded his game. I think you can feel encouraged by where they're headed next season. But ultimately, with the playoff format as it is now, I'm not trying to say that their path was super easy, but LA and Calgary probably more favorable for the first two rounds than some other teams. Eventually, you're going to get to this stage of the playoffs where there's no slouches anymore, and Edmonton's finding that out here the hard way.
Well, I think they need to relook at that blue line a little bit. I don't think it. Man, Darnell Nurse at 9.25, I think is going to turn out to be an anchor sooner than people think. But they've got they have to hope that Broberg can take a step next year. Bouchard can maybe up his skating a little bit, because that was always been the knock on him. And you saw you can blame Mike Smith for that goal last game that made it 3-2 after Bouchard hit the post, but Bouchard got outraced and outmuscled after Coffer left the box. That can't happen. So, and you look at going into this upcoming season, they've got Ryan McLeod, Jesse Puljujarvi, and Kyler Yamamoto, all RFAs, needing new contracts, let alone, are they bringing back anyone who's a UFA? Archibald, Brassard, Kane, Skeevy, or Turris, let alone Kulak or Russell? I don't think so.
well, the big one there, the big question is Kane, and for me personally, um, did he score a lot of goals? Yes, he did. Uh, but I think in the other areas, I just don't think he was that effective, to be honest with you. Not for the contract that Evander Kane is going to want. I think
Yeah,
that's the problem. He's going to want a long term, and I'm confused because I mean, this situation with the contract in San Jose hasn't resolved itself yet either. So that's another. Isn't that an issue in signing Kane going forward? Or is that going to play into this?
I don't think so. I think whatever happens, there'll be a monetary, there'll be some money exchanged hands, and that'll be it.
yeah.
He'll still be a UFA, and
And
yeah,
he's still going to be hamstrung with how much of a deal he can command, because there's got to be some reluctance out on the open market in bringing him in, right?
I still think he's going to get a decent sized contract, but I don't think it's going to be in Edmonton. As I said, I think they need to look at their blue line a little, fix their blue line a little bit. They need to Mikko Koskin's off the books, but you still need to find someone other than Mike Smith to tend the net. And is Stuart Skinner ready?
Yeah, I mean,
don't
Skinner.
think
Skinner, I
so.
think I think it's at this point you'd slide him in as your number two, and then you still got to go out and find a number one goalie, and that's never easy to accomplish. So,
Well, Mike Smith signed for another year at 2.2. So do they go?
do you really think they're going to bring him back though?
I don't know. Like
I can't see that.
He's played.
No disrespect to his play this playoffs, but I don't think we get a better Mike Smith next year.
He's just so inconsistent.
Yeah.
He can look absolutely amazing and then let in a stinker. Like, it's just, that's not good. They've got, according to Cap Friendly, they've got just over 7.1 mil in cap space, and like I said, they got Ryan McLeod, Jesse Puljujarvi, and Kyler Yamamoto to sign.
Yeah.
I don't see the space for Evander Kane there. I don't know if it
I honestly don't. I don't think they're bringing back Puyarvi. I would be very surprised if they give him a qualifying offer.
What's his qualifying offer?
Boy, you think they're gonna not qualify him and let him walk as a UFA?
His qualifying offer is pretty small there, Kev. I think.
Oh, is it okay?
I'd have to think that's the route they're gonna. They'll run it. They'll give him one more year. We'll give him one more year.
We're not talking about someone who signed a 3-4 year deal at $4 million and is not worth that right now. His last contract cap hit was 1.175. And so his qualifying offer is not going to be significant.
Yeah, to me, I guess for me, fair enough. To me, one of those McLeod, Puyarvi, and Yamamoto, I think they all need to take another step, however that looks. I guess for me, in terms of finding a goalie, my question is how can you do that without trading a big piece in that of that? Like, I'm not saying you're trading McDavid. We brought up the idea of trading Draisaitl. I think that's the chances are slim and none on that.
Yeah.
But in my mind,
he's played so well these playoffs.
Yeah, it's hard to
1.5 ankles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's one. If I were Daryl Cates, I'd come down and kibosh that idea pretty quickly.
But you mean RNH, Zach Hyman? They both have played really well. That contract with Nurse, though, I agree with Sean. 9.25. That's a hard one and he's good, and he's played really hurt too. But that's
he's just not worth 9.25.
Yeah, that's the problem.